Hello and welcome to Ataraxia for our level 12 episode of the Battles of Brother Purple. One of you just mentioned to me that you virtually never set foot in here. I suppose I can understand why. There are only two quests in here, you have to run to both. Neither are prodigious XP or with any kind of decent loot that people might want. But there is a certain amount of charm to the place, and um, it's a kind of a reminder because this was this is the highest level free to play area, I think, without spending points on or without having the free quests code. So I thought, I still haven't decided which one we're going to do. What do you think? There's the Durigar thing with the three furnaces, or the one with the sea troll colony. I tell you what, since I can't make a decision, we'll do both. There isn't too much waffle to get through this time around anyway. Um, let's have a look. We'll start with the enhancements. So on reaching 12, obviously access to the tier 5s in the Henshin. I've completely respect, more or less lost all the falconry. So wisdom to hit and damage is gone for now, which has meant I've put us back into the strength stance. Now at 12 you go into the master of, so we're getting plus 3 strength, plus 1 crit multiplier on a 19 or 20, plus 1 key on hit, and on crit hit plus 4, so we're drowning in key, as you might imagine. I haven't put any points into these to get the void strike because it's 6 points. I did trial the void strike initially, it's on a nice short cooldown, but 6 points just to get that, it seemed a little bit much given that we're a bit pushed for points at the moment. So I picked up the incinerating wave. I've tried that once or twice. Thanks to Wagon, you can see him down there. He popped onto our server to explain that sometimes the wave can go missing. I think if you target something and it dies, it goes missing. And I've had that once or twice, but generally speaking, it's a nice opener. You send it out into the group of things, it takes effect on all, and you come in and mop up the pieces with your quick strike and whirlwind attack. Now the observant among you will notice that we've swapped the feet. I don't think I've ever done so many feet swaps in a life before. So we started off with the fists of light. We had the light feet, didn't we? At monk level 3, I think it was. And now we've swapped that to the darkness side so that we can take this. Shadows can't exist without light, which is a nice big heal on a 6-second cooldown. Now that does, I've tested it, does still trigger the healing key. So the only thing that we've lost, as Wagon very kindly pointed out, was the token 1 and 2 or 2 and 4 health heal when you hit the opponents with the Fist of Light, which I think we can do without now, especially as we've got the DR15 boots going strong. So what else have we picked up in here since last time? At the moment obviously we're running strength, but I've put the wisdom so I don't have to respec the tree, because as soon as we are able, we're not far, we're 1 point away from being able to take wisdom to hit, and then as soon as I get wisdom to damage, I'll swap the stances over again. At the moment it's just a narrow advantage in favour of wisdom, but that's because strength is being boosted by 3 from running in the sun stance rather. I didn't have any strength on my gear, so I slotted actually I'll go into the gear in a minute. Let's just finish what we've got here. So we've got all sorts of attack and damage on the quarter staves line here, finishing with +3/+3, which isn't too bad. That's a nice bonus to crit threat range and multiplier with quarter staves. Also at level 12 we took the improved critical bludgeoning, which has a minimal effect on a quarterstaff build because it only crits on a 20 as standard. So that took us down to 16, 16 to 20 to crit. And I think this one here I'm hovering on will have taken us down to a 15 to 20. Yeah, and so we're on 15 to 20 times 4 with this weapon. So it's looking pretty tasty now all of a sudden. And we've still got the freezing ice and the paralyzing, which are doing a sterling job. We've lost the bird attacks, so we've lost that element of crowd control. But so it's increasingly a case of try and beat them before they beat you, at least at the moment. What else have we got in here? Extra MRR and MRR cap, which will be valuable because we're in robes and it's capped at 50. It's still not amazing, is it, those defences? And that's our big heal. I don't think there's anything else to see. Did we have... maybe we didn't have that last time. So we've got 5 bonus to hit, 5 to melee power. Not amazing, but it's okay. I had to put some extra points in here to reach 30. I thought rather than put them in attacks like these, which I just wouldn't use anyway, I put a couple in here because that's relating to dodge cap. And maybe not now because we're in the wisdom thing. Yeah, we've lost a truckload of dodge, haven't we? But when we go in the water stance, you'll see we are very close to the... We have a huge dodge chance max, 36, and we can get quite close to that in Reaper mode. We have 6 extra bonus to dodge. So we're on every 1 shot in 3 then misses us. So I'm looking forward to returning to that as soon as we can. Let's have a little look on the gear side, see where we're at. I had a check. One of you mentioned the Azorial braces for healing, positive spell power and crit. Couldn't find any of those. So we're slumming it with a level 3 item. It's minimum level 12 because I put a diamond of strength 6 in there because we had no strength augment or enhancement on any of the gear. But the devotion and healing law on there has served us pretty well. It's taken us from a derisory 50 odd to over 100 positive power, and the healing, the positive crit chance is 13, which is still pretty rubbish, but better than the 4 or 5 that it was. Otherwise, everything is the same, yeah, except that you might recall the braces, the only reason we were keeping them on was the Master's Gift. Now I noticed that the Master's Gift was slotted in a legacy augment slot, so I was able to remove it for free and put it in these boots, which we have used religiously since 11 to the cap on I think every one of Purple's lives. So that seems to me like a good candidate for an XP bonus because we always use these things. Otherwise, you'll recall our special ring that we got, the Assassinate, which at the moment is not being used because we don't have the bird attacks anymore. But Fire Law, and coupled with our Kinetic Law, should be helping our newly acquired Incinerating Wave to do some fairly decent damage. And I think it's proving that way. It's just a nice opener when you've got the things in a group at range. Send that in, and then as you go and close with them, quick strike for the extra double strike bonus for anything following up. I like to do the quick strike first, and then while you've still got the bonus going, hit them with the whirlwind attack. And I think that's a nice little combination. We've got the very short cooldown Fists of Iron on the bar. Thanks to Mike for pointing that one out. That's a multi-selector in the Henshin tree. And that's just a nice beefy 3-weapon, extra crit range, extra crit damage. If it does crit, things can be deleted from full health, and when that happens against a red crown, I tell you, there's few things more satisfying than that. I've got the wings on my mouse button. Haven't used them too often. I seem to take time to get used to the fact that I've actually got them. But at least we're doing better than the favoured soul. The poor bugger got them at 17, and I think it was midway through Epic by the time one of you tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Oh, by the way." Unfortunately, not like the favoured soul one, we don't get a feather fall effect also with these. But I'm not complaining. I really like that. What else do we have? Gear wise, that's it, finished, I think. We did the 2 quests in the marketplace, the dragon ones. Went through those quite nicely. Did the level 10s of Ravenloft. Now I did die once in there. A combination of a Carnage Reaper and a Red Crown Caster got me. I was dead before I could even think of triggering my healing hands. But aside from that, aside from the spiky, really spiky things, we've been doing okay. So no complaints. Mentioned that. Mentioned the wings, healing braces. One of you mentioned recently something that's a bit new to me, well, completely new to me. This idea of the wolf whistle, one of the, maybe part of the Desert Sands revamped items. So I think, like most of those things, it comes in a heroic and epic and legendary flavour that you can upgrade to. And it's another one of these that you can get from the vendor in the sands rather than farming the chest. I don't happen to know which chest it comes from, so I don't know how much of a farm it is. Purple doesn't have enough bronze tokens, I'm afraid, to show it to you. But I have seen it in action, the legendary one, and it looks pretty decent. I suppose it depends, everything depends on the level of content that you're running. But I look forward to experimenting with that. Much as I'm against hirelings and summons and all this kind of stuff, but as somebody was kind enough to mention it and show it to us, I feel kind of duty bound to give that a go when the bronze tokens allow, unless we get to a stage where we need to spend those on an ideal level 20 weapon for one of Purple's lives. Right, waffle is over. Let's get back on the old horse. Let's try and do the Durigar one first. Now, as this is older content, I would expect us to show quite well in these two. In before we get torched by a Plague Reaper on the first part.
Scaffolding and heavy reinforcement make it clear that this area is of high value to the Duergar.
Okay. Still got these shield clickables on a 5-minute cooldown. There's not a lot I can do about that. There is a level 20, or is it 21, sapphire studded belt from one of those quests in the 12. I think it's kind of a big deal that gives you shield on a much longer cooldown, which would be nice to have. Did I not open that? the wrong key. That's not a good start. Okay. There you go, we taught that dog something rotten, didn't we? Beautiful, I think that must have been a crit. Oh, Mr. Fear Reaper. We have your own special Reaper strike for you, sir. That was the new healing strike we've got going off. Okay. I guess we're going in here, are we? Now, I don't like to be completely surrounded by things. I like to invite them to come and join us. Come on if you're coming. Are they coming? Oh, dungeon alert. Marvellous. I think we have a copious amount of lag here. We're going to try and persevere. Trying to stand still, or as still as we can. Beautiful, yes. A shuriken, anybody? Come and say hello. Don't be so miserable. Don't be antisocial like me. There we go. Nice. Now, are you telling me that we've finished down there? I don't think we have we? I can't believe there's nobody else waiting to trip us up. Maybe there isn't. It's a pleasant surprise. Oh, right, okay. I was going to say I was sure there'd be at least one or two lurking. Ah, the joys of the melee. I could have tried the shuriken, but it's a proper plink, plink, plink fest and you'd be there forever, so let's try and get this over with. Okay, let's get out of here before Mike finds any more boxes that we haven't broken. Actually, I think is it 2? No, 4 left. Let's try and find 4 more. I expect you to favourite this video, Mike, if you're watching. There we go. Okay, now which way? Down. Renew the shield. Renew that thing. Now what, how long do we get with that? Oh, so it's character level, so 12 minutes, that's tasty. I don't need to really bother with that. The only one, the short term one, is the shield then. Our wings. Hopefully by the time we finish this life I'll have become much more aware of the fact that we've got the wings and use them in a much nicer array of situations, both attacking and defensive. That's my hope. Let's just try and top up the health if we can. Oh! It's on a longer cooldown, this light attack, so I had to wait a bit to... was that really necessary? No, it wasn't. Go on, wings for the win here. Over the hole. Ah, beautiful. Iron Fist. Nice. Is it actually a decent attack in its own right, this this new healing thing, or does it just heal? 2W, but it's not a cleave. It's just and target suffers light damage. So it's more for the heal, I guess, than anything else. We've got this rock. Oh, grasp the immunity to earth and thing. That keeps popping up randomly because I'm mixing light and fists of iron. Where are we supposed to be going? There.
The central furnace room is host to extensive supply of essentials.
Oh, hello. Trigger the boost. We're in a bad situation there. Trigger the heal. Really bad situation. Hands. Go and bugger up those miserable archers. Nice. Now what I am noticing is even with the nerf, the Reaper healing nerf, both the hands and the healing strike are actually healing for a reasonable amount. Not prodigious, but reasonable. Since we acquired the healing braces. 3 explosives left. We better go and find them then, hadn't we? We're not leaving until we've found that one. Where the hell is it? It's stuck up on the top somewhere, no? Oh yeah, stuck up on the top out of the way where nobody's gonna find it. Okay. Actually, it's a good job it's there, isn't it? Because I would have had to come back anyway to pull the furnace thing. Okay. So, is it... I guess it's this way. Wings! Hey, I can't wait for the Whiz King with those wings. Floor collapses beneath you. Not this time, sir. Not this time. Yes, it's on a nice short cooldown, that healing thing as well. So, what's going on here? Is this... Have we been in here? No? Oh, it's optional. Okay, is there a chest in there? Nope. Okay. Yeah, nice short cooldown, that healing thing, so I should be showing it, throwing it into the rotation much more often than I am doing. That's one of the challenging things with the way all this has gone down so far. I've had to kind of adjust to new things, like just was getting into the bird attacks and all that kind of thing. And hang on, furnaces, what's going on here? There should be another furnace here. Was just getting into the bird attacks when we changed back out of falconry. So I've had to kind of relearn again. Fists of iron for the Reaper. Can we just make sure we're not being hammered by all that stuff? Sort of engage in a more favourable situation. We can't really, can we? I'm not making enough use of the old incineration wave, which is a shame because it does decent damage. It's AoE, there's nothing not to like. The only reason I'm not doing it is I'm not used enough to having it there. Yes, alright. Nice shot. That was the Fist of Iron. When that hits and crits, it really does some damage. Okay. Let's just give you an idea of what the shuriken is doing. So whilst not completely terrible, because it is taking the candle imbue, and I've put an acid thing in there, and it's got one or two little thingies from Ravenloft there, fire and holy and whatnot. It's certainly not by any means a rival for our quarterstaff. Not least of which because we have no special attacks that marry up with it. At least I don't think we do.
Are snuffed out. A rusty squeal echoes from the base of the mine's central shaft. With so many supplies destroyed, the mining effort will be crippled for some time.
Right, now let's remember the way to go here. Yeah. And downwards. So down, down, down and to the south, isn't it? Okay. I think we should try and hold this door if we can. Trigger the last of our Reaper boosts. I want to be sheltered from the archers if at all possible. Come on, are you not going to come and see us? Okay, the hell with it then. We'll go into the lion's den. Have I overestimated? No, I don't think I have. There's loads of them out the dungeon alert. I was going to say, have I overestimated the number that's actually left here, but I don't think I had. There were quite a lot. And what I did was stupid, as usual. Okay. Yes, love it when the Fist of Iron hits like that. I think that's another reason I didn't persist with the Jade strike, aside from the big investment in terms of points to get it. It's a similar thing, maybe on a similar cooldown, and I would have been forever pressing those two little cooldown things. And it got to a stage where I was paying more attention on the bars down here than what was actually going on the screen. Do I actually want that? And it's not the maximum one, is it? That would just sit there in my thing gathering dust, taking up a space, so I'm not going to take it. Okay. So, fighting wise, that certainly was the tougher one of the two. As far as I'm concerned anyway, the main challenge of this next one, the Sea Troll one, is the locations of the two keys that you need to progress. As far as I'm aware, you can't do any lock picking. You have to actually find said keys, and they can be, it's not like they can be in one or two different locations. I think there are quite a few places they can be. So that does make it a little bit more fiddly to do, and I suppose that's another contributory factor in turning people away from this little chain or this area. I said it had a certain charm. I think it has a certain um, early DDO charm, because you can see the island is fairly sparsely drawn up.
This natural rock formation creates an ideal perch for hunters and predators.
Okay.
This tucked away cave entrance has etchings on the doorway that read, "For the Devourer."
I think I forgot to mention we at 12 we got more fast movement, didn't we? Which is also nice. And unlike the favoured soul, when you level up and you get the wings, I could be wrong, but I don't think I saw any notification about the wings when we took, is it 17 in favoured soul? But I did notice the abundant step was mentioned at the very top of the details on taking 12, so that reminded me, and I put it immediately on the bar. So that was nice. I was having this conversation with somebody earlier. I I do like notifications, quality of life stuff. Like for example, I think I might have mentioned this before, the deadly instinct in falconry. You trigger it, it comes up, the 2 minute timer pops up, all good. It finishes, you get a notification again that it's finished in case you want to pop it again. And that's great. And yet, then you get certain other things like maybe the artificer weapon imbues. There's just a thing. Well, actually, weapon imbues in general. Look, it's just there. There's no timer. If I want to see the timer, I have to go on there and sort of manually have a look. 11 minutes and whatever. So that's just a bit of a pet peeve. And there'll be no indication when that runs out. I don't. Will there be? Will it say imbued by shadow? Maybe it will. Maybe there'll be an indication when it expires. But there are plenty where there isn't. Like I think know the angles in the Harper tree when that expires. Unless they've changed it recently, there's no notification there. You just have to be watching the buff bar. And when you've got a crap load of buffs up there at the top, it's a little bit of a hunt the needle in the haystack job. So I like to go to the left side first. Oof, oof. So oh my god, like, the key can be, oh, come on, Reaper boost. Oh, just what you don't need when there's a mountain of lag. Plague Reaper, and I made a horrible misplay there. I triggered the heal while we were plagued. However, there is a silver lining because here in front of us we have the first chest with the first key. Talking about the hunting bird, one of you mentioned something which is obvious but I hadn't picked up on, which is that even though you might have several hunting bird attacks on different cooldowns, on different cooldowns, they are effectively all put on cooldown when you use any attack, because the bird can't start off a new one until it's finished the animation for the first one. So that's something to consider.
Twist and turn into a veritable maze. A large cavern looms ahead. The toxic jungle, or a rusty
Nice one. So we're getting a lot of mileage out of the body feeder temporary hit points, which is nice. Although the 15 barrier is going to become less and less significant when as we level higher. Now there are a couple of people down there. Does that mean there could be a chest down there? Let's have a little recce of the area. The chests can sometimes be in these little... oof, nice shot. In these little side caverns. Oh, trolls and fire. Wow, decimation. Beautiful. Sadly no chest. Yeah, I must make big use of the incinerating wave here, especially with these trolls. In before I find only the second troll in the game to be completely immune to fire. Okay, should be using backspace, shouldn't I, to try and see if I can find the other chest. We've been down there. Let's do a quick circuit. They can be on the floor as well sometimes. Treasure bag. No, that's where we came in. So it could be around here on the top, perhaps. Usually when you see a group of opponents, it's a telltale sign that there's a chest lurking there somewhere. And there's a cave entry under there, isn't there? I don't know that the chest can be in all of these little caves, but it's not looking good down here for the second one, is it? So let's make our way back to the start. I would DDO if I had one. See if we can locate the second one. Oh, hello. Stand still. Oh, he's already dead. I was looking down at what was not on cooldown and the thing was already dead. Happy days. I think we must have crit it there. Oh yes, second chest. Good times. So now we can go straight to the second cavern, which is to the east. We want the cave exit to the south.
A cavern opens before you. The stems of giant mushrooms are rooted in the
And then I think we turn up to the left and we get to a couple of locked doors. I'm almost certain you do actually need the keys for these. You can't just rock up with the open locks and expect to get through. Nice. Which side are you coming from, people? Oh, we took a shot there. I tried hitting the heel there. Oh, I got it in the end. Didn't work first time. That's one of the dogs in the background having a drink, if you're wondering. Ooh, not good, not good, not good. Come on. Nice shot. I should not have left that thing on its own in the corner. Okay, no harm done.
With Ataraxia,
Happy days.
Sykros will no longer be subject to Durgar blackmail.
So, I thought that went pretty well. We're quite close to 13 now, aren't we? Which is pretty good because I think we've more or less finished with the level 10 quests. I think there are a couple in the sands, the walk up ones. Is it Tomb of the Astrologer and Tomb of the Physician? Is it that kind of thing? I think one or both of those might be 10s. Might go into the sands next. Knowing me, I'll end up doing something silly like trying Whiz King at this level. But that'll actually, we should do Whiz King, shouldn't we? And showcase these wings. That would be a good one. I'm not. Have I done? I think I have done Whiz King before on the series, haven't I? But never with a character with wings before. So maybe that could be a thing. See how well we can do at not falling through the collapsing floors. Right, I think that went pretty well. I think it's fairly obvious as well that I'm still feeling my way with the latest iteration of the build, but we certainly don't seem to be missing the Fists of Light. The healing that gives has been more than replaced by the Shadows without light, the chunk of positive heal that can give. We have a nice AoE in the form of Incinerating Wave. If you missed it, which you very likely did, I have really underused it there. Should be with any pack or even two, I should be leading with that. It's quite low cost, nice chunk of damage. There's nothing not to like there. I'm just noticing that has monk level, wisdom modifier, and stunning bonuses. So we at the moment are running an assassinate bonus on that ring. Stunning bonus can come from an augment, I think, can't it? So I'll make a note to maybe have a search round and see what I can find. I think I'm right in saying in our future there will be other things perhaps that rely on stun. Does the level 18 ability, I think it's called Cauldron, isn't it? Does that have something to do with stun in there? Yes, it does. So it might well be an idea to invest in one of those. I hope and believe that the Randall Lyric vendors might be the place to go for something like that. Okay, I think I think that's about it. We're relying, as we have for some time since level 9, on the tried and tested combination of quick strike followed by whirlwind attack, and then to mop up bits and pieces or single targets, the Fists of Iron is doing quite well for us. Still using the healing key because we can trigger that with Shadows without light, using that in between battles like for a top up thing. Using the hands as we did once in that quest in a bit of a panic situation. So I think, yeah, I think we're in a fairly good place. I won't waffle on too much. Hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.